Alrighty. How's everybody doing here? 11:50. All right. Came out like a splash and kind of died off a little bit. All right. So here's your spy. There's your 15 stuck coming back inside here with the 2-1. And there's your 30 minute going with the hammer up, trying to take the 15 back up again. All right. So there's your daily. Did take out the 3 day, but still going to be a real challenge to get this. All right, 673.95, basically $674. Still going to take some time to get that work. All right, I like the 312 on the week. Now you got the 312 up on the week, so we can see if we can expand here. All right, try to get back up to those highs. So our goal is to get back to here. 673.95, right? That's the number. That's the number we'd be hunting for. Okay, so there's your spy. QQQ, same way here. 312 on the week as well. Tracing down 613. It was at 613.18. All right, so moving up nicely, guys. All right, we're looking. Look at this thing. It wants to triangle it out on the 312. All right, and there's your day holding up nice, and your month and your quarter doing well. Okay, diamonds were a little bit more volatile in the beginning of the day. They kind of crapped out a little bit. See, this was the beginning of the day here. Nice move up, and then kind of stuttered out, and chopped for a little while there. Sorry about that. It chopped for a little bit there. All right, started to go chop here and then came out of it. All right, so 2-2 back up. So futures on the move. We're steadily climbing. We have stalled out though a little bit here right now on SPY because we're 1-1. We're stuck inside right now on the 60s, and we're taking diamonds up. We ain't hesitating there. All right, but when you look at the SPY on those 60s right now, kind of stalled out a little bit here. Not a little indecision. All right, I think she should get it back right up. All right, so I talked about this morning. What did I say? I said banks, and I said healthcare. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so XLF having a pretty nice day here with the 2 up on the day here, holding up really nice. Okay, kind of stalling out, but coming out of the 212. We need to get. I get some more expansion on this thing. That's what I'm looking for. 54.50. Can you give me 54.50? I don't think you're going to give me that today, but it's pushing here right now. Right, taking us another 60 up. You got 30 up holding, and kind of dying off here on the 15 a little bit, and there's your week stuck inside day. All right, so XLF much better. GILD's been pretty good day. GILD is inside day though. All right, so won't talk too much about that one. It's kind of trapped inside there. There's not much to talk about there. BIIB had a decent move to the upside, kind of stalling out again here on the 60s. So you see that, right? Nice day upper though on the BIIB. So coming back inside right now on a 15, and there you are on your 1 inside on the week. All right, hammer shooter coming down sort of in the month here on Biogen. All right, so having a better day today on that guy. What's the other ones that I'm kind of looking at? What else we got here? So XLV, I think I talked about that one already. There's your XLV. So holding up really, really good with the nice day. Johnny John has been kind of frustrating a little bit here, chopping here, and that just makes you stall out. All right, once you start to do this, it just everything goes, everything goes into chop land. You get chopped up. All right, so try to hold the 30 up here, trying to get better here. Johnny John's kind of struggling on the day right now here too. All right, it is 2 up. It's red. It's a doji. It's not really telling us anything, and it's obviously looking exactly the same as the week because it is the first day of the week. All right, so Johnny John, little sketchy. Got to go with a little sketchy on that one. Amgen kind of fell apart, and now it's been turning things around. So here on this one, they came down straight this morning, made the lows down here, made the lows on the high of the day, and we already busted out of that big 3. All right, so continue to the upside. Amgen looks better. All right. I'm stuck inside the week here, 3-1 inside, but looking really, really good. All right, so look for Amgen more. I think there's much more to be had here, folks. Even if I pull this up on a daily and take a look at it on the bigger screen, we still got a ton of room to go here. All right, 311.44 would be our next big move to the upside. All right, we're going to have to get through this. You got a triple top here. All right, so going to have to get through there. You're probably going to find some resistance up in here. That's around $302. I'm going to call it around $302. You're going to have to get through that, and that, and that. All right, so keep an eye on that one. But Amgen's really good today, and I think Amgen's going to continue to do better. All right, so healthcare, really, really good today for the most part, I got to say. Abbott Labs, another one, came out real hot. Came out a little hot, and then kind of just did this with the outsider, okay? So you got the 3-1 tree coming back down. Chopped up again, broke again. So you see what I see. Trying to get better now, trying to come back up on the 60. She just flipped on a 60 backside up. So let's see if it can get back up to maybe 129.53. That's 50 cents off right now. Day's holding up pretty good, but it has gotten a little lighter, all right? Abbott. That's definitely one of the ones that I'm looking at it. I'm not going to go into too much detail with them. Just going the ones that I'm looking at. All right, so now banks. Oh, my lordy. All right, XLF. Very, very nice. Up 50 cents on the day here for XLF. Almost up 1%. That's not bad. All right. Especially on a kind of sleepy day right now. All right, so trying to get back up to the highs at 52.75. You're only 6 cents away right now. You are handily inside the week. I like the way, I don't like when they take week up on a Monday. That's just too much too fast. There's going to be some puking. This is really nice. I like the way this is cooking inside right now in the week. Let's keep a couple of days going in here. Not get too carried away with it, because if it does, then you know what's going to happen. They're going to come in to hit them because they're going to move them up too quick. All right, so our 60s are 2 right now, up and still above there. We sat for 330 for what 36 to 90 minutes. We have stuck at inside, and we finally just got out. XLF looking good. Can't go higher. Citibank. Just a beast. All right. Nice day upper here on Citibank. She has pulled it back in a little bit as well, but that stock has been moving really nice. WAL, I don't know what happened here. Western Alliance, this thing was like really, really nice move to the upside, and then they triangled it out, or at least tried to. It got all the way back down to here on the 15s, and then boom, now you come back inside again with a chop, chop, chop coming back down. So here's your picture on your 30. 2 up, and then you get the higher high, and then you get the sell-off. Sellers take control, and right now, sellers are still in control for this moment, and your 60s are still down red. All right, so this one's been really, really good. All right, so I'd like this thing to turn around and get better. That's definitely one of the better ones. All right. Huntington Bank. Here's another one that kind of fell apart a little bit here, coming from the beginning of the day. Here's your 30. You get the puker down, rallies all the way back, still gives you the red man hammer, and now you get the 2-2 that makes the high of the day, and that's it. That sets the tone for everything right now at 1585. That's the gem where you're gonna get back. You're only 15 cents off. You're 2-1 inside right now on H band, and you're up on the day, but you're red. You're staying red too. Okay, so not moving there. Zion, these were all these 2-1s that we talked about before the market even opened this morning. All right, Zion's cooking an inside 15, an inside 30, and a 2 up on a 60. This one's having a better day for sure. We need to get back up to 51.67. It's only 37 cents away. If we can get that going in, we're stuck inside. Pretty stuck handily inside that week too. All right, so be aware of that. All right, so those are the kind of the ones that I'm watching. I got Bank America, Bank America with the better day, right? Day upper. We need to get this thing back up to 51.67. Is that not? That's not the right stock. BAC. There it is. All right, so 3-1 inside of the week now. Looking for that 3-1. If we could stay inside for 5 days, that's going to be tough. All right, so we'll see if anything comes of that. Right now, we got actionable signals all over the place with ones, so we're kind of stalling out a little bit and just kind of resting here, see if they want to make a move as the day grows. As the day grows older. All right, 52.24 to get back up to the highs, and then our next magnitude would be 52.77. All right, I'm looking for some more bank love. I'm looking for some more XLV love. Two good groups that are holding up really well. Technology is really, really mixed, so I'm not gonna really talk about them. When I made that video on Friday, everything that I talked about then is still happening today. All right, tech is just a mess. Nvidia is trying to get back up to the highs here, but ways off yet. Oracle, for some reason, is all of a sudden just hitting the, you know what, and we're gonna pull that up on that daily again because that's what we look at. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it with the 2-2 back down. We have a gap. Are we going to fill that gap? That doesn't even get it done at 270. Let's pull it up on a bigger picture there. I don't know if I talked about this one earlier. So trying to get back to the mainland. Here's where we're at, folks. All right, right here. All right, so 260.79-ish. Let's call it 261 even. All right, so you're going to have to break this. You're going to have to break that, and then there. And then if you get back into the to the mainland, maybe then she can get where she needs to go. But for right now, 2 day down, pretty heavy. All right, so Oracle from that day up to the shooter, look what it led to. All right, so that is pretty impressive to the downside. All right, so Oracle, big champ, kind of getting a little knocked out a little bit. All right, so we'll see there. Avgo, we'll look at that one on a daily as well. Broadcom, it's up on the day. It's negative. That's a pivot. We're looking for a farther move down on this guy too. In my opinion, you're probably not going to get that move. But that's what I would be looking at for a pivot if you wanted to triangle everything out. This is another one that needs to fill the gap, all right? 80% of all stocks fill that gap. So we'll keep an eye on both of those, okay? I think that we need an AI triangle out, but they're probably not going to let it happen because they're too nervous if their precious they're precious. You know what I mean. So they're gonna covet these things. So they probably will not let them come in, but they could. They could just as easy. All right. So watching Avgo down and out in Beverly Hills here. AMD. AMD's better today. It's having a nice 2-day up here, back up to 242. AMD, man, she's just moving really, really nice. I wouldn't buy it here now. It's just moved too much for me. But she's just holding up really, really well. Amazon continues to be garbage. Okay, so today it's up $1.93. Big who. All right, you're up on the day. You're trying to come back inside. You're still chopping up like crazy. Amazon is not ripe for running anytime soon still. All right, so that is going to continue to just keep chopping away until something happens. I think Apple is the star. It's another great day for the Apple. So watch out. I have an interesting story about Apple. And I don't know if this is a real story but I was reading. So what I've heard about Apple is that in your iPhone, in everybody's iPhone, there's like an antenna of sorts, right? But Apple is going to be able to connect directly to a satellite, which means Apple wouldn't go to like a tower. Like, you know how your phones right now, how they work, and like you make a phone call, it goes to a tower, and there's towers all over the place here in Chicago. We see them everywhere. Everyone has them everywhere. But Apple has the ability, and the technology is already in current phones. Now, I don't know how far back going, but I know that there's these can communicate directly to a satellite, which means T-Mobile and Verizon, you could see these companies go away, potentially. If this is real and they can connect directly to a satellite, these towers will not be needed. All right? So that's the story that I've heard about it. There's a company called Spectrum. I can't find out who they are. I think it is a publicly held stock. I just didn't get that information, so I've been looking for that. So just be aware of that, because if that happened, like I said, T-Mobile, Verizon, all these guys that got all these towers might not be needed anymore. All right, that would be huge. All right, that would be a huge move. So keep an eye on Apple. I don't know if this comes to fruition, or if it is real, or if it isn't. But I'm telling you, and I would say this even. I don't think that Apple's the winner here. It's the company, this Spectrum company. They're the ones that are able to link these phones directly to satellites. All right, so maybe there's some regulations that doesn't allow this at this point. Maybe there's some phone conversations that can't be recorded or something like that. So there's a couple of things in here that, but it's something to chew on. You guys get any information about it, you let me know. And Apple hits all-time high as we speak right now on CNBC. It just came up as I was talking, and it just came up and said that. Apple hits an all-time high on CNBC right now as I'm talking. That just showed up weird. All right, so keep an eye on Apple. I think Apple goes higher anyway. At definitely 300 for Apple. Probably going to triangle out before that happens too. All right, so I'm gonna leave that alone. We won't talk about that anymore. I'm looking at my staples. They're kind of crappy today. Coca-Cola took the day up though. All right, so Coca-Cola's having a nice day up. Coca-Cola's going to report earnings tomorrow. All right, so we'll see what happens there. All right, and Colgate is finally starting to move up here. It's been lazy all day, but it has taken the day up. But it's still stuck inside there. They're not really doing anything great. XLP is not that good. I think XLP is being supported by banks and by healthcare. All right, and that's been moving. The retailers suck. All right, I got one word. All right, retailers are not good. Discretionaries are not good. McDonald's, Starbucks, all that stuff. Some of it moved, and they've already come back to the downside. All right, so our 10 years are below 4 now, and they're staying below 4. All right, so we'll see what happens there as the dollar has been creeping to the upside. All right, so today we're just getting a little. We're getting a little push here, trying to get back up to all-time highs. We're $2.30, $2.40 to get the SPY back up to the highs. I mean, they might do it today. Look at them; they're pushing pretty good right now. We're about to hit $672 in about 40 cents. So we're creeping. We are creeping to the upside here for sure. Trying to get out of that daily pattern, and again. 67.40 to 68 or 67.70. Be careful in them. I think when the futures get up in that area, you might see some resistance in which you might see a shooter come down kind of quick. All right. So we don't know the magic number and what's going to trigger there with that matrix number, but we know that it's out there somewhere. It's just a question of, where is it exactly at, and when it hits that, you might get a reverb on that. So just be aware of that. All right, that could definitely happen here, and but as we go here right now, it's up and away, baby. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll try to get something at the end of the day. All right, so everybody, just be good.